Hello, my name is Sultan Jr, and I am a Life Scout in Troop 114 and 001. My Eagle Scout project is dispersing a series of literacy public service announcements to and for the East St. Louis's community, youth, and adults. It will demonstrate how literacy rates and a lack of literacy in the community can lessen the ability of people to be able to advance in life. When I was in my mother's room, my mother read to me every day and every night. And when I was younger, she would always have me and my sister read flashcards and encourage us to read and develop a love for reading. And now I myself love to read and even excel in it. When I was a toddler, my mother also put me into the Head Start program, where I learned and transitioned into being the person I am today, and as an elementary student. And now I help out and nurture other young kids' education in their lives. I also tutor children at other schools in this area, and after school I help at Katie Wright on Thursdays, and also did so last year at James Avon Elementary. Illiteracy, or the inability to be able to read, write, and comprehend, can lead to a multitude of negative consequences, impacting education, employment, health, and just your overall well-being, potentially perpetuating a cycle of disadvantage throughout a community and making it worse for generations to come. While literacy, the ability to read and write, offers numerous benefits, including enhanced communication, increased self-esteem, and improved academic and career prospects, ultimately improving quality of life and leading to a more fulfilling and successful life. My hopes for this project are to bring the lack of literacy in the East St. Louis community area and to improve it.
Hello, I'm State Representative Kevin Schmidt. I'm going to talk about Read to Rise. Is a community-focused literacy campaign designed to empower East St. Louis residents through greater access to reading resources and support. The project raises awareness with PSAs and partners with schools, libraries, and local organizations to distribute books and promote reading as a vital skill for success. By connecting with groups like the Metro East Literacy Project and engaging volunteers, Read to Rise offers tutoring, workshops, and mentorship to those who need help improving their literacy skills. The goal is to build a strong reading culture that supports education, opportunity, and long-term growth for the entire community. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sultan Jr, and this is Khalif Moorhead in my Boy Scout troop, Eagle Quest 001. As a college student, can you give us an example or two of how you've seen an abundance of literacy and a lack of literacy, and how it has affected one of your classmates, someone you tutor, an adult you know, just how an abundance and being great in literacy and a lack of literacy and not being able to comprehend or read or write certain things, how that can affect someone?
Well, for abundance of literacy, I've seen many students in a library, and not just like every once in a while. I see them there every day, and they learn a lot, and I can tell from the classroom because they get many great grades. But when I see other people that actually don't go to the library at all, they don't really seem to excel much or as much. I know it's not for everybody because everyone learns differently, but from what I've seen, many of them haven't really had the best of grades.
Hello, my name is Sultan Jr, and this is Miss Linda Mitchell, who is the founder of the Metro East Literacy Project.
When I was in graduate school, I found out about a horrible statistic that just arrested me, and that is that about 67% of children going into third or fourth grade were not able to read on grade level. And that's just appalling to me, because literacy and being able to read is just so foundational. The standard is once you get into fourth grade, you need to be a proficient reader because you're learning to read your other subjects. Math, science, everything else, geography, even your word problems. That reading is foundational. So for those to two reasons I just took on the cause of literacy awareness.
Yes, ma'am. And when did you get that statistic? Would you say it's relatively up to date? And if so, do you think it's gotten worse since then?
Well, the thing is that 67% statewide, nationwide, that needle really hasn't moved very much. And that was, I said, what in the world? Why aren't kids learning how to read? And of course, with the pandemic, it's gotten worse. Locally, if we're talking about East St. Louis, I've seen stats as high as 80% of kids, 8th grade, 3rd graders not being able to read on grade level. So when those tests come out in the spring and you get those results on the National Educational Assessment, whatever it is, ISBE, Illinois Board of Educational Statistics, I look at those, the report card, and you can look at that data and drill it down to the actual school and the actual district, and it's just not good. It's just not good, and I just want to work on that issue. I'm just one person, but I want to work on that issue.
Yes, ma'am, and it's a noble cause. For future generations, what do you think, not necessarily will happen to, but what will happen to the people in this city if it keeps getting worse?
I never lose hope, though. We can't despair. We can't always be moved by what we see, because there are a lot of things going on behind the scenes in this wonderful city of East St. Louis, the city of champions. We can't lose hope, because there's always going to be a remnant of people, a group of dedicated people like you and other people that I know in the community who are concerned. It just takes time for that messaging, positive message, empowering messages to permeate the community, because sometimes other voices are so loud as well. Other behaviors are loud. And so the message of positivity and training up your children sometimes can be drowned out by maybe some negative messages and negative forces.
Like, instead of just like handing them an iPad or something, sitting down, taking 25-30 minutes to just read with them, just read a short book with them.
You're right, having that, but it's so, you have to be so intentional with that, because it's so easy, and I'm guilty of it. Turn on the remote. Ooh, that looks so exciting. Look at the colors and the music and everything, to compete with a book. It's really challenging, but it's all about having a purpose, knowing the value of things, being intentional about it. And I'm a person of hope and positivity. I can't say, even the things that I see in the community, okay, we're doomed. Because I meet a lot of beautiful kids and parents, and I always want to encourage them and let them know how special they are and the potential that they have. And I talk to them about the importance of reading, and how you can read the right book and it can change your life.
Yes, ma'am. There's some resources in the surrounding area or community you think families can use, should use, or are any alternatives for?
Well, right now we're in East St. Louis, and that East St. Louis Public Library is phenomenal, but people aren't visiting it as they should. It's wonderful, and that's a hidden gem in the community. And our churches have a lot of programs, summer programs. We've got the Jackie Joyner Kersey Center. I just came from a resource fair, and there's so much help available for all kinds of health, job training. The East Side Align has all kinds of programs to help. To me, I always look at society and even things like YouTube. I said, well, it seems to me like everybody's trying to help each other. through different avenues. If we just could avail ourselves of that help, be aware. There are people trying to help incarcerated people. There are people trying to help train up young men, like what you're doing with the Scouts, like, you know, your coach. There are people who are life coaches. There are ministers. There's just so much help for us for almost any problem we have. There's somebody willing to serve and help us. If you have financial problems, there's financial literacy and coaches. I almost can't think of any problem. Mental, senior citizens, there's help out there. But you need to be aware that there's resources, there's community organizations. There's always help available. We don't have to be lost and drowning.
Yes, ma'am. And there are resources even here at the church where we're at, such as Community Lifeline.
Absolutely.
Not far. Amazing for adults, or even my own grandmother. She was enrolled in it for a time, and it helped her to read. Also, the church has started a group called the Men of Valor for young men like
Men of
myself
Valor,
and other
yes.
men. And just, if we were to, when we do, improve literacy in East St. Louis, how much better do you think it could be in 5-10 years?
Absolutely. It has to be, to me, my vision is that literacy becomes a pillar of the community. Even in my mission statement for the Metro East Literacy Project, I envision a community of avid readers where literacy is valued. Now that's going to take some work because, as I said, there's a lot of competing interests. There's a lot of things that can detract from that. But I envision a community that this area is no longer a book desert, because a book desert is defined as an area where people don't have books in their home. There's not a lot of resources in the community for people to have access to reading material. And yes, that's a fact now. But my dream is to spread that, make this area, do a book flood. The antidote to a book desert is making it a book flood, with flooding the homes with books, the community with the knowledge and awareness of literacy and how important and powerful it is for all of our well-being. Everybody, all the companies, the businesses, they need literate people. They need teachable people, humble people, people who are lifelong learners and ready to learn. We don't know what these skills are going to require within the next 10 to 20 years. I mean, I never even heard of AI when I was a kid. I never even heard of a computer. Who knows what we're going to have 10, 20 years from now? But I tell you what, you're going to have to know how to read, whatever it is. I don't see that going away ever. Parents want to do anything they can to help their children thrive and grow. And for parents who are listening, I would just encourage them to develop a culture of reading in the home, because that's transformative. That's showing love when you can put your children on the path that they can be lifelong learners, that they can read. Do whatever you can, parents, to show love to your children by giving them that skill. You may not have the skills yourself to teach or train, but make sure that they're getting it somewhere, that they are reading. Check those reading scores. When they come home at school and you see, oh, my child is not reading, find out how you can help them. Maybe they have a learning disability, they're dyslexic. Do whatever you can to make sure that you can help your child, because parents love their children. No parent wants, well, I don't want my child to succeed. And parents love their children. They want to do whatever they can to help them thrive. And that's what reading will do. It'll help them thrive in every area of life. And same with the teachers. Teachers, they love their students. most teachers, they went in the profession because they have something to give. They want to give. They love. They want to teach, and they want to share that knowledge and pass that on. They want to lift the kids up. So the same thing with teachers too. They want to love.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much for your time.
Hi, my name is Pastor Kendall Granger of New Life Community Church here in East St. Louis, and I'm super excited about Brother Sultan here and how he's educating us on literacy. When I was growing up, our parents insisted that we learn how to read, write, and do math. And it seems like today, sometimes the new parents are allowing kids to stay at home, and they don't think it's that important. But literacy determines your level of success in your job, if you want to start your own job, in your career, how you relate to other people. So I want to thank him for partnering with New Life Community Church to help us get the word out about the importance of being literate in this time and this age.
My hopes for this project are to bring awareness to the lack of literacy in the East St. Louis area and to be able to improve upon it.